End of hiking day one, long day, 11 and a half, 12 miles. But this is North Fork Lake. And there doesn't appear to be anybody else. In this entire basin. So that's where we're pitching the tent, right over there behind Finn. Day two, pretty early night last night. It was a long day, 13 miles or something without a lot of water. Most of the little streams and things that usually connect these lakes had run dry, so maybe they can get as much snow last winter than they usually do. Anyway, on the trail headed to Hay Pass. This is Lake Victor, and we're going over that mountain somewhere in there. Beautiful morning. So how do you get 5 days worth of stuff into the woods? Pack dogs. Well, and backpacks. Pretty basin that we're in. Gotta follow it that way and around the corner. We're at about 10,000 feet right now, and we gotta go to almost 11 to get over Hay Pass. Hopefully somebody remembered to bring the oxygen. Here we are. Holy smokes. Probably not going to be able to see that, but nice fish. Here we are at some no-name lake. Oh, it's a cut? Just short of Hay Pass, which is right behind me there. Some high mountain lake with no name.
Goddamn dogs.
Hopefully that'll be on video. Stop to fish. Take a break for a minute before we go up over the pass. Pretty nice scenery. Just over Hay Pass behind us there. That's literally a couple feet shy of 11,000 feet. For you East Coasters, the highest peak you have is Mount Mitchell in North Carolina, and I think it's about 6,400. So we're a little higher than that. But everything on that side flows to the Pacific, and this is going to be breathtaking. Everything on this side flows to the Atlantic. And yeah, those white spots up there, small glaciers. Pretty awesome. So we made it into our lake basin destination. So this is Golden Lake. We came down that pass right there about 700 feet from when we were up at Hay Pass. The weather's a little hateful looking today. Just there's a lot of moisture in the air, so the visibility's not too good. Anyway, taking a little lunch break. Tess has decided to chew on a little stick. Well, here we are, camp day 2. Just moved about 100 yards from where we were having lunch. What all do we bring with us? We're not ultralight backpackers. So it's a 3-person tent, 2 people and 2 dogs. My backpack has food, the dog's sleeping pad, that thing down there on the bottom, dog's sleeping blankie, a rather large bag with a rather large camera in it, fishing equipment, a raft, paddle,
That's not it.
a little stove that I'll show you at dinner tonight. And when I say stove, I mean stove, like that size. That's filtering lake water down to about 10 microns, so it's probably cleaner than what you get out of your tap at home. And when you go 20 miles into the wilderness and up over an 11,000 foot pass, you get scenery like that.
Make beds.
So I told you I'd show you the stove.
Nope, you're not coming in. No, you're not coming in.
There it is. Just fixes onto this fuel can, and we're off to the races for a hot dinner. Well, good morning. Day 3. Today's going to be a 0 day for us, which means no backpacking. We'll probably do quite a bit of walking around the lake basin here, trout fishing and exploring, but nothing with our packs on, which will be a nice break. I think I showed you camp last night. There are grizzlies and black bears in this part of the country, so we hang our food bags, and those food bags, the white one back there is the people food and the black one's the dog food. Those bags are made out of a Kevlar Aramus, like bulletproof stuff, so in theory it's grizzly proof, but so you can either tie the bags individually to a tree, or it's even better if you hang them. So I'll get the white bag hung up there shortly, and then pull it up out of critter reach. Super windy last night, so sleep was kind of off and on, and still pretty hazy today, so there must be a big fire smoke coming from California or somewhere. Still on day 3, just fishing the creek, for lack of a better term, that runs between Lake Louise, which is out there, and Upper Golden Lake, which is just over the rocks right there. A couple of small goldens. Danny's managed to catch a large, beautiful golden. Dogs are doing what dogs do. So now we're on Upper Golden, which is more or less the end of this drainage. Hard to describe the scale. Gigantic granite walls and big waterfall there. Get another shot of it when we're at a better angle. Upper Golden Lake, Wind River Range, August. Wish it wasn't smoky, but take what you can get. So you probably can't hear me, it's really loud right here, but that's why. This is a waterfall below Golden Lake where we're camped. So that's the creek that comes out of the lake. Should be able to catch some fish, hopefully. Night 4, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Night 3. Can't keep track of the days when you don't have to keep track of the days. Anyway, here's the stove. Gonna have some hard salami and cheesy rice noodle thing.
Not rice. Mushroom.
I mean, cheesy, yeah, some kind of noodle. And there's a water filter, although we do drink out of glacial streams quite a bit. Giardia be damned. Evening, campfire going. Worn out dog. Repositioned the tent from out there where we got wind blasted last night to in there, which Danny commented was dark and scary, but it may be less windy. We'll see. Day 4, ready to head out. Nice relaxing day yesterday, all packed up. We got to go over a fairly ugly saddle right behind those trees. 800 vertical or something in a quarter of a mile. That might be an exaggeration, but it's pretty steep. Try to do about 12 plus today so that Sunday's a little shorter day and we can fish on Boulder Creek a little bit. I'll show you a hay pass from the top. I don't think I showed you Dennis Lake last time. Big lake up there at the top, super pretty. Well, we're about a quarter, I hate to say, probably, of the way up Hay Pass on the steep side. Danny's gone over to fill the water bottles out of that creek. And that's where we were last night, camped on that right about there in the trees. Incredible views. Well, here we are, pretty much at the top of Hay Pass. Took a little over an hour. The old man has to stop a lot. She's kind of a mountain goat. I call her the freak. She has a moderately better oxygen transport system than I do, probably by a factor of about 10. Anyway, this is Dennis Lake. I don't know who the hell Dennis is, but he must have been a person of some great importance to have such a beautiful lake named after him. That's literally the top right there. And then the bulk of the next 2 days is downhill. Day 4, after lunch, taking a little different route back than we came up on day 1. That route didn't have a whole lot of running water, which is tougher on the dogs, and had a fire go through it 20 or something years ago, which sort of limits the shade. But hopefully this route is a little nicer. Certainly is so far. Quite a bit different look than the big meadow I showed you a little while ago. And for all you people that say there aren't many grizzlies in the winds, well, we've come across grizzly scat 3 times. And there may not be many, but there's enough that we've crossed paths with them 3 times already. More from camp at dinner. And yeah, clearly there's been some fire in here too at some point, but if nothing else, we will be on the North Fork of Boulder Creek for most of this route, so even if we're out in the open and it's a little hot, we should have more water. And I had some issues with the water filter on the first day. So we got pretty dehydrated and cranky on day 1, but the water filter's working fine now, so we should all have a lot more water, which makes hiking more pleasant when you don't have a headache and your muscles aren't all cramped up. It definitely looks more promising so far. Anyway, pretty area that we stopped at. Right at the foot of Lake Ethel. Nice morning. Probably mid-40s maybe. And trailhead's out and down that way. Big pool on Boulder Creek. This creek is, it reminds me a lot of some of the big streams in the mountains in North Carolina and Tennessee, and that's Finn, who wants to chase a stick very badly. One of his favorite games. He doesn't like to swim, but he's a professional wader.
And a professional stealer. A little too far. Sorry, bud. Get it, Tess. Go get it. Go get it, Tess. Show us how you swim.
Last day, about 3 miles from the truck. Plan on stopping in Pinedale for a burger and a beer, which sounds so amazing after 5 days of eating backpacking food. And there's a puppy acting like a retard. And Finn desperately waiting for the next stick.
Bub, you got all the big sticks already.
He's very picky about the depth he's willing to go to get a stick, and it's not very deep. Oh, just back on the trail. That's the pool that the dogs were just playing at. Hey, you guys let us go by. Come here.
Nothing.
Not a fish in sight anywhere. Which is odd because it does have cutthroats in it. Danny caught one 5 days ago when we came through here.
Hey, keep going. Nope, nope, nope.
Thimbleberries, very tasty. Haven't seen any blueberries on this trip, but lots of wild raspberries and huckleberries. Which all have substantially more flavor than the stuff you buy in a grocery store. Commercially grown hydroponically or whatever it is they do to them to make them big and plump and relatively flavorless. Pretty flat trails, mostly like this all the way back to the truck. Well, be good to get a bath tonight and a proper bed. We do sleep on little lightweight air mattresses, but it's backpacking sleep is never quite as comfortable as sleeping at home, especially in bear country, but it's worth it. And I'm saying that because I've never had a bad bear encounter. Knocking on wood. But there aren't a lot of them in the Wind River Range. Although we actually saw no big game. Lots of elk sign, lots of moose sign, grizzly scat, wolves howling. Didn't see anything bigger than a squirrel. A little surprised that there's a lot of country out here for them to be in, but the trail's covered with deer, elk, and moose tracks, so you'd think maybe we'd stumble into one. Well, it's been an enjoyable trip.